this segment of Action Planning for Prevention and Recovery, sponsored by Wings Across Alabama. Today, we're going to be taking on triggers. So if you've been in recovery for any amount of time, you've probably heard the word triggers passed around 1,000 times. So I'm just going to define it for you in the context of this course, so we'll all be on the same page. So triggers are external circumstances or events that may produce very uncomfortable emotional or psychiatric symptoms, such as anxiety, panic, discouragement, despair, or negative self-talk. Reacting to triggers is normal, but if we don't recognize and respond to our triggers in an appropriate way, they could actually cause a downward spiral, making us feel worse and worse. So this section of APPR is meant to help you become more aware of your triggers and to develop a plan to avoid or deal with them. This will increase your ability to cope and stave off the development of more severe symptoms. So the big thing here when we talk about triggers is that they are external events and circumstances. They are not, in contrast, internal thoughts and feelings. So for example, an external trigger would be something like going into a convenience store 3 days after you quit smoking cigarettes, or the COVID pandemic. That is an external trigger that really increases symptoms in a lot of people. So if you want to take some time and list out the triggers that you deal with most often first, that's going to be a good place to start. If you look in your manual, you can find a place to write your triggers right after the daily maintenance plan. Looks just like this. You can write them right here. You can list them out. You can write them across, however you want to do that. Again, if you don't have a manual, feel free to use your pen and paper. And it is really helpful to share your triggers with others. So this kind of takes just all of the power away from it. It's just being aware of what's happening and how you react to external situations. So a few more examples of triggers from friends and people I've talked to and taught this class with are things like loud noises. I know that I have been incarcerated in the past, so the loud sounds of locking doors still trigger me. So loud noises, dark places, crowded places, technology. I don't know if anybody's been on a Zoom meeting lately that they couldn't get to work quite right, and how triggering and frustrating that can be. So those are just a few examples of triggers. Now, these are going to be unique to you. Remember that it is an individual plan and it's private. So just take some time, list out your triggers, share them with a trusted friend or your therapist. This helps create accountability. And then we'll move on to the next section called the Trigger Action Plan, which is where we'll make a realistic plan on how to prevent and avoid or deal with these triggers.